Namaste, my brothers and sisters, and welcome to Namaste Today, the Zodiac Weather. My name is Stepº6. I am the Sensei to Sirius Joy, here to help you stand in your heart and march in the light. This is Wednesday, October 29th, 2014, and I'm happy to report that Step 6 rules the day. In the 11 steps to Sirius Joy, Step 6 is when we start to feel good. It's the most popular step. It's often confused with love, but it's not love. It's the giving and receiving consciousness. We just went through the Sun in Libra, where we updated all of our Step 6 consciousness as to when we give, when we receive, etc., etc. Now when the Sun is in Scorpio, we're talking about the giving and receiving as it is to opening up or not opening up. You might have hit some walls in the last month. You might have realized, oh, I want to open up to this, but something is not allowing me to. I believe this is the right amount of giving, receiving. I believe this is what's fair. I believe this is the relationship I want with myself. I believe this is the relationship I want with other people or society or whatever. This is the giving and receiving I want, but what's in the way? The answer is yourself, of course. In the law of attraction, in the law of creation, we create our own reality. So obviously there's something in our own programming or in our own matrix. Well, today will be the day where we can complete ourselves and open up to giving and receiving within ourselves. But before we dive into that, let's first tame our brain, shall we? With the phrase of the day. I am open and ready to do business with my heart. I am open and ready to do business with my heart. Now this is super important. This is what the mind needs to be mindful of. I am open and ready. That's the first thing. Can you feel yourself open and ready? Can you feel your heart open when you say that? To do business with my heart. So we're going to open up that space, and then we're going to prepare to do some energy exchange with that space. Heart chakra right there in the center. The serious step of the day is Step 6. That's I give and I receive. And so we're basically opening up for a little loving. But because we're only on Step 6, that is out of 11 steps to Sirius Joy, until we hit 11, we're not of full spiritual integrity of the lesson. So we are building our boundaries in Scorpio, and we're at the point of boundary building where we discuss giving and receiving. So today we are looking at the boundary to open up to giving and receiving and to open up to loving, particularly from ourselves. That's super important. Now the moon is in Capricorn, so our emotions are strong-willed, definitely wanting to go a certain way and our way, but conservative, which is good. That allows us to be a little braver, I think, when we head out. And by tonight's sky, I'm predicting it will be very peaceful. It'll be an easy sleep for most people. Anyone having sleep trouble shouldn't tonight. There's so much energy pulling us down. That moon in Capricorn is quite heavy, said the Taurus. So let's look at the chakras tonight. Now, for starters, it's important to know giving and receiving actually comes through the throat. So there's something about the word that's really important when we put in a word. It's tied to the matrix. It's tied to reality. And in order to give and receive, you have to say something. You have to say something, if nothing else, out loud to yourself. So we're opening up the throat chakra. And the thing is, the sun's in Scorpio, so that means we're also working on the back of the throat chakra. So you see how boundaries and giving and receiving work together seamlessly in our spirit, all right? So we kind of say yes up here by the brain, and then we open up in the other chakras too, which is to move forward, to take action, to have, make love, you know, etc., etc. So I protect, rules these two chakras, and today we're looking at whether or not we're going to open those up for business or not. Now let's look at Planet Soup. What does God have up there cooking up in the stars? I can't get my own slogan out there. What's God cooking up? Thank you, Christopher. The sun is at 6 degrees Scorpio. This is where we begin to give and receive and open up or not. We are deciding with our boundaries today. And, you know, part of the heavy energy has been this trying to Neptune, oh my goddess, I've been falling into sleep, I needed more naps. Psychic energy is super high. I'm having those vivid dreams where I wake up and, you know. And Venus is now at 7 degrees today, Step 7. The sun at Step 6. So the Venus is also at purebred 7. So today, in particular, the next 24 hours, very psychic, super time for a reading. Throw down your tarot cards, however it is you do that. Mars is in Capricorn and pushing now for the re-evolution. And I'll be talking about where your re-evolution is in your zodiac race. But it's now time to re-evolve, and our emotions are feeling that. In the last 24 hours, you hopefully released your emotional baggage to old control issues and old ways of doing things. Mars is climbing up Capricorn now, putting a lot of pressure on changing the rules. Very good for election time, actually. And Saturn has hit step 23. Now, because I was off the air, I couldn't report how amazing the timing was. Immediately after the solar eclipse, Saturn went from step 22 to step 23. The joy quest is 5 for this, which means our minds are trying to grapple where things could go, what the top of this boundary sees changes. And right now, today, we're really, in some ways, preparing our emotional boundaries to open at the top, like to open our mind at the top of what could be, as we are, of course, climbing up and opening up for business at step 6, if that makes sense. So we're at both parts of the spectrum. And passion is coming. Those were fireworks sound effects. Step 20, Jupiter is pushing now in Leo. So we're starting to feel that our hearts can be fulfilled. We're starting to feel possibilities. There's a lot of glow. And wherever it is we're making changes now in our own self-transformation, I think Jupiter in Leo is pushing for love to happen, mostly with ourself, don't forget. But this is an amazing source of energy, which I'm going to talk about in today's Sensei Sunrise. So today's serious step of the day is step 6. So we want to be serious about giving and receiving. And so moving on with our serious math, I want to give you some opportunities and some options into how giving and receiving actually happens according to the astronumerology. These are the equations that are possible to create 6. Now 6 is the point when we give and receive. And I'll go over the steps. Step 0 is protect, 1 is love, 2 is feel, 3 is believe. Okay? So on the left here is how we can start to open up. And think of this more as opening up to yourself. If you are shut down to yourself, then you want to just, in the first equation, if you're totally shut down, you can just open up to giving, receiving. Okay? And so this is something that a trained or person who meditates on themselves a long time is like, and get yourself to opening up to giving, receiving. So you can go from 0 to 6. You can go from shut down to open. Now in classic love stories, the 0 to 6 scenario is how a lot of people expect to fall in love. They expect to be totally empty, alone, 0, and total love to show up. Wonk, a 6. Okay? And this is misleading. This is the fight or flight love, 0 to 6. You know, it's like 0 to 60. That's what people want to do. That's quite a rush, but then sometimes when you get to the 6, you're wanting the rush back, right? So we have to first bring ourselves to a 6 before we can even do business with other people, and today's about bringing yourself to a 6. So you can use the first equation to go from 0 to 6. Very difficult. Not even I can do that one, I got to tell you. The second one is the one I always prescribe, which is to be in a state of love, 1, and then to be mindful, 5, of that love. So if you are in love, you feel the love, and you think about the love, you now start circulating love inside of yourself. Yay! And that is, I think, what Master Buddha was teaching. So education works this way too. It's like, oh my God, I love astrology, and I put it out there, and we have giving and receiving, right? So giving and receiving often happens from topics of love. Now, this 1 + 5 = 6 equation is also like a common love story that you see in movies all the time. This is like your Harry Met Sally love, where one person feels the love and the other person is stuck in the 5. One is completely in the 1, one person's stuck in the 5, and when they're together, they can be 6, right? You see that. And that's not so much fun, you know, because the 1 is seeking, you know, the 5 on their own. I mean, we're seeking 6 on our own. So you can see how codependent love can be stuck in this. Now, the truth is, I think we fly through all these equations. I think this is the matrix, how the numbers of the matrix are bouncing off of our consciousness at any moment. But the next option is your emotional chaos love. So you can be very, very emotional. So let's say you're driving down the road, you're in a step 2, you're very emotional, you're in your emotion, you're in your feelings, and you want to get to giving and receiving. it's going to take a 4, the absolute right attraction, the I belong. You have to get emotionally brought into another 2 that will fulfill your 6 giving and receiving. So your 2 plus 4 is like your water sign people. They're always looking for some sort of 4 firework to happen in order to bring that love in. And yes, that's a nice high, and it's very enjoyable. But I think it's a bit chaotic. So that's your emotional chaos. And then, of course, there is actually one more equation, and that is the 3 plus 3 equals 6. And the 3 plus 3 equals 6, what's cool about that, that's my Siri coming on out of nowhere, isn't that funny? I'm just going to keep taping. The 3 plus 3 equals 6 is basically what you and I are experiencing right here, or what you experience in giving and receiving in like a community situation, right? So we're both here of common beliefs. I believe in this, and you believe in this, and you and I are coming together this way. So it's not so much about information I love, it's common belief. So your 3 plus 3 are your church giving and receiving. Your family giving and receiving is 3 plus 3 a lot of time, that energy, where common beliefs are bringing people together to open up and give and to receive. It's kind of hard to bring yourself into a 3 plus 3 in the moment. That's like quantum thinking. But I've done it, like where you can get so into belief hitting belief, bouncing off belief inside of me, that I'm suddenly in the state of 6, the state of love, the state of harmony. 6 is a state of harmony. And so today we're trying to bring ourselves to an inner state of 6. Now, the real question for yourself is, when you try to bring yourself to any of these equations, spiritual equations, you know, what's in the way? Because that's what Scorpio is about. Scorpio is about what's in the way. What's in the way with us flowing? How do we keep it flowing inside of us? We may flip to any one of these states, but today is a practice. You were born in your natural born state either as a 0, a 1, or a 2 fundament, which means that you're either trying to protect your integrity in the first 10 days of the transit, you're trying to be proficient and practice your integrity in the second 10 days, or you're a master that goes through emotion. So what I recommend today is that you approach fulfilling your 6 based on that and these equations. If you're very guarded, you're going to have to click into the 6. If you can't, love yourself and think about that love, and you will be in the 6. That's what my recommendation is, the 15. All right, my friends, this is a good little stopping point. Let's take a little break, and when I come back, your zodiac weather and what Mars is trumping up for you in Capricorn after this.
Are you tired of being codependent? Have you ever wondered why you're always cheating? Why do you have to always mother everyone you date?
I understand.
The biggest problem usually is people choose the wrong person. Are you ready to find out the truth? Yes. In just one video, you'll understand what you're looking for in love and what you offer. You send us your date of birth, we send you a custom video that's all about you. We call it Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. Find out your birthday secrets today, available online at secretsofbirthdays.com.
And here we are on the Solmar Trading Post. The Secrets of Birthdays Love and Lust Reports are just $19.95, and I will deliver them within 24 hours of your delivery date that you choose. Check them out. They make a great gift for your honeys. And the Megascope Monthlies have one final mega date of this October date, and that is Halloween. Halloween is a night where we will say goodbye or toast goodbye to some old ghost. That's what I talk about in the Megascope. Check out what your ghost is in your Megascope. And if you need any help whatsoever, email us at help@soulmark.me. We've got a great volunteer staff who loves to send love to you. Now, if you're looking for a reading, good news. You buy 1 hour right now, you'll get a 30-minute follow-up. That's good until January 31st, 2015. This is an excellent way to dive into you and get a real understanding of who you are. The more you know yourself, the easier it is to manifest what you want. So more details are available at soulmart.me. And that brings us now to today's gong. So today's gong is an exciting one because looking at the planets, looking at everything I see lined up, I must say, the re-evolution begins now. This is the moment, my friend, as to whether or not you want to open up for giving and receiving with yourself. You know, you always see those stories in movies of like some lady who's all shut down and bitter in her old life, or a man who is too, and you're just like, wow, their whole life they ended up shut down and bitter. Well, at this point in the astrology, they didn't open up to giving and receiving. This is the moment. we all have these windows of opportunity to re-evolve. Well, looking at the planets with Saturn at 23, yada, 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 this is the beginning of the re-evolution. Whether or not you open up to giving and receiving with yourself, which is all step 6 is, opening up to giving and receiving with yourself, if you open up to it, then you are going to begin to re-evolve your entire story. This is, I'm realizing, step 0. Saturn in Scorpio is Saturn in step 0. God is taking responsibility of the very first step. Every step after this will therefore be affected. So whether or not you open up now is everything. And you know what? In the 80s, when Saturn was last in Scorpio, we were all damaged, I think. Most of us were damaged. The damage was actually repeating itself from the past life. But 1 out of 2 marriages and a divorce and the Cold War, we were scared to hell of dying and yada, yada, yada. It was pretty intense. Now we have the internet, spirituality, light work, which is proliferating. We have options in education and all sorts of things. And if you decide to open up to giving, receiving to yourself, then you are beginning a re-evolution in yourself, my friend, that I believe, because each person has a sphere of influence, that will evolve, lead to the re-evolution of humankind. So I say open up to yourself today. I gave you 4 equations to do it with. If you have any questions, post it as a comment. We'll go from there. How's that? But before you think about where your re-evolution begins, let's take a look at the modes of each of your brothers and sisters. And I'll be telling you where I believe your re-evolution begins, according to your planet, starting with the birthday Scorpios. Sunny and chatty today for the Scorpions, re-evolving your thinking. So every re-evolution will happen from your thinking on. Step 1's the Leos, sunny and hyper alert, re-evolving your health and lifestyle. So by evolving your lifestyle, everything else, I think, will fall into play. Indeed. Step 2, the Cancers. Sunny and sentimental today, but you were re-evolving marriage and partnerships, and by re-evolving the way you connect to others, I think your whole life will re-evolve. Step 3, the Sagittarius is sunny, busybodies today, re-evolving finances and abundance. So re-evolving the way you manifest your wealth. Step 4, the Aquarius is sunny and detached from life, but you are re-evolving your inner faith. So once you have faith, it's going to all go down. Step 5, the Geminis, sunny and private, re-evolving personal intimacy, though. That's what you're re-evolving. So, you know, once a Gemini gets in there, they get in your head. Step 6, the Libras, sunny nesting and resting today, but you're re-evolving your emotional foundation, which will allow you to balance any weight from side to side. Step 7, the Pisces, sunny and super social, re-evolving your social reputation, which I think is a constant when you're a Pisces. You kind of came here to clean up everything, so just steady as she goes, right, Pisces? Step 8, the Capricorns, sunny and super cool with the moon in their sign, re-evolving everything. Seriously. Basically, you were re-evolving your social, you know, where you connect in social world or whatnot, but because Pluto is in Capricorn, you are the walking revolution. When you make new decisions and you take your power control in new directions, the whole world follows. See how you're looking down on us? Step 9 is the Aries, sunny and professional. Now, like the Capricorns, you're re-evolving career and future plans too. And by re-evolving your future plans and who you are, the world will change because all the energy is tied up in Aries. Step 10, the Taurus is sunny and super passionate, re-evolving beliefs and life purpose, what it is that you believe and what it is that means, basically. And I'm finding it's because to some degree I was wrong. Step 11 is the Virgos, sunny and super childlike today, the moon in Capricorn, and you're re-evolving the dream. And the dream is the diabolical plan to heal everybody, to fix everything. Start with yourself, right? That's where the fun is. All right, let's look at our Lightwalker Parade. What do we have following this video to help you with your day? Well, we do have Venus Prime Health. Check out CLA. I released it yesterday, but I thought I'd say it again to give it its proper webisode time. It's actually a supplement that comes from beef, but you don't have to eat the beef. Where's the beef? And today we have a couple of live cool shows on tweettalk.tv. Circle of Wisdom with Master One Feather and I. We're going to talk about the fight or flight syndrome, which I believe began in the 80s. Not really, began in Atlantis, but I mean as far as it began most recently, our recent wave of fight or flight began in the 80s. But that's at 5 p.m. Eastern if you want to join us at tweettalk.tv. And on Modern Mommies, the ladies are getting together and talking about boys will be boys. Is that cool, not cool? This aggression with boys, that's their topic at 7 p.m. Both shows are available on tweettalk.tv. If you're on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. We thank you ahead of time. And on Facebook, you can be our friend by going to soulgarden.me. It'll take you straight there. And if you're at Soulmart, you can join our email list where I'll email you out every night, just like elves creating shoes. And the kindest thing you can always do to care is to share with your friends and family, Twitter, whatnot. We appreciate it ahead of time. Now, the Sirius Joy song of the day does go out to a Scorpio, and it kind of resonates, not just a Scorpio, but resonates with that feeling we feel in Scorpio, that depth of Scorpio, and especially the depth of Scorpio when it's unfulfilled. That constant craving, right? Remember this song? I love this song, actually. Reminds me of a concert I took my ex-wife to when I was in my 20s, the Katie Lang concert. I have never had to fight women for the men's restroom before, but I'll tell you right now, man, you go to a Katie Lang concert and you feel like you are surrounded by a female army of tough, incredible women. I've never felt safer in my life. It was like, it was incredible. But Katie Lang has an amazing voice, and if you're wondering, she is a Scorpio. You can hear the depth of woman in her. And guess what? She's a step 9 Scorpio. So that's the masculine male side. So she's actually extremely male, but her voice is extremely female. She's an interesting balance. All right, my friends, I do love you. I thank you as always for watching. I'll see you in 24 hours with more. Until then, live, love, be.
This is just so ironic.